Are you sick of Black History Month? Neither are we. Let's go. 77 flavors. Chicago. Let's go.
That's horrible.
Did it?
That was
Hey, I'm just keeping it a bug with them.
that was a trap.
That was a trap. Because if somebody said, yeah, God, no.
I mean, did they think you were gonna say me too? Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I mean,
That's crazy.
yeah, that would be crazy.
I
man.
just washed my hair and I'm actually really not excited about putting these headphones as my curls dry because you need volume and they're like suppressing my volume.
Yeah,
So I'm like really not.
not vibing with it.
No.
I mean, it looked good.
Yeah, but it's going to like.
You got that
mush.
Michael Jackson S curl going? Look at you. You got that. Do you remember the time? You got that. You got that curl going on. Anyway, how you doing, shorty?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
No, Campbell.
I don't know. I'm good. I'm doing good. It's my sleep score said 97, I think, but it does. I don't feel at 97 right now.
You've been working and cleaning the house all day.
I did clean the entire apartment today.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been like but your sleep score though, y'all. We've been making this like competition out of like the sleep score
Dario's
stuff.
been making.
I have been because like
I've just been winning.
Yeah, she been kicking my ass. Not just winning, you been kicking my ass.
That's correct.
Like I can tell you be knocked the hell out.
First of all, watch your mouth.
I'll be sitting there like, yeah, she definitely got 100 tonight.
I feel like if you stopped worrying about what I was doing
No.
and like focused on your own sleep, you would do
That's
better.
how I be trying to focus.
You'd do better.
I'm trying to focus, but
I'm trying to look at the let's see, in the last month I've
been
just
averaging.
been
you've been
killing the game.
yeah. What do you think is the cause of your good sleep?
Well, we just bought $200 pillows.
Yeah, stress.
So if you have an FSA account or an HSA account,
Go tap
whichever
in.
one, well, at the end of the year, some funds don't roll over. I try to use as much as I can, but the funds that didn't roll over, I was like, let's buy some purple pillows.
Yeah.
Because they're very expensive. I've been like my pillows are like from TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
The entirety of my life.
And them
You know what I
boys,
mean?
your back is tore
Like
up.
they're $10.
Yeah, neck be all messed
And
up.
you're like, why am I not sleeping? Maybe it's a $10 pillow. I don't know. And so, but like even when I've bought like nicer hotel pillows, they're never great.
Yeah, no, them purples.
These purple pillows,
Yeah.
I mean, we spent like $450.
I remember the first time we laid our head on a purple
And
pillow.
here's the thing: is mine came in before Dario's.
Man, look, that's why your body trained for it. You was cooked as soon as you got the pillow.
100 that night.
100
My
that
sleep
night,
score
I
wasn't-
think.
Yeah,
I was like, damn.
it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
If you've been thinking about it, obviously they don't know I exist, but
Yeah,
I'm
man.
telling you,
Y'all
they. It's a good pillow.
it's a great pillow. Y'all need to get on it.
Now I want the mattress.
You got 4 racks?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we'll work up to it. Hey, shout out. This is a good time to shout out to our one.
Well, we can't use the donations to buy a mattress.
You never know.
No, we know. That's
Well,
fraud.
well, right.
On the record, we're not doing
No,
that.
right. On the record, y'all, we're not doing that. But what I'm saying is, this is a good time to thank people that give us for the things we can do. For example, Eric, thank you for your donation. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
To clarify.
Yeah. It's clarified. They know. They know.
Okay.
They know. They know. Hey, look, your $10 didn't go towards no purple. Yeah, you know that, Eric.
No,
You know.
it's my FSA.
We probably got about 40 more donations before we can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Probably.
It's all good.
Our website is almost done, which is really exciting.
Man, I'm excited about that.
Our designer, who is phenomenal, her name is Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Her and her sister are like a team. Her sister Sierra, they did our entire rebrand. So if you follow us on Instagram and if you're like watching, you've been following us for a while on this podcast, you've noticed like we changed our cover.
Yeah, you see some things change.
Yeah, so they did our entire rebrand and they've been designing our website and it's almost done, which is so exciting.
Let me tell you, that logo,
It's sick.
that logo is nasty. Hold on.
I'm
This logo
embarrassed.
right here.
Yeah.
That logo is crazy.
I'm embarrassed of our previous logo. It
No,
can't,
why, embarrassed? Why would you be embarrassed?
because it's so silly
No.
in comparison.
Look, here's the thing. I'm not embarrassed by something that got us this lifestyle that we have right now. I am not one. Matter of fact, I'm honored. I'm honored because we created something.
But like, here's the thing.
We created something that was like it became something, You know what I'm saying? So like, I ain't never embarrassed. Now, granted, do the new one look better? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It look a lot better. You know,
sounds like you're yelling. Can you turn down my headphones? just,
Black History Month. Let me live.
I mean,
you know,
this is you all the time.
Yeah. But anyway,
our new logo is incredible.
The new logo is crazy.
Smacking.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got it tattooed on us, the old one.
Yeah,
I'm about to get the new one tattooed on.
It's gonna be the same, just slightly different.
No. It's gonna be the text.
Stacked.
Yeah, the stack logo.
Yeah,
that stack logo is crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're really excited. This week was kind of like a lot of work things. Like we didn't do a lot of fun things. We just went to American Icons at Joffrey Ballet, which was really interesting. Here's the thing: I'm not like a big dance performance person. Like if it's not attached to like a nice set or like cool costumes, I kind of get bored. Like my mind wanders, and now I'm just like having a panic attack because I'm thinking about like the end of the universe. No, because like my mind just wanders, and it wanders to like the most stressful things happening in my life, and there's a lot.
While they dancing,
the to-do list is long, so like I'm thinking about like all the things that I need to do, and so I'm just like it's not an enjoyable experience for me because it's not as engaging for my minuscule brain.
You really playing yourself,
but I will say,
brain is crazy.
American Icons was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was really great dancing. I did have to, like, if I were reading a book, I probably reread the chapter a couple times because I was like, wait, what just happened?
What's going on?
But it was fun. It was fun. Also, Dario was drunk sitting next to me.
Nah, wait a minute. Wait, what did they out of left field?
He was 3 drinks deep.
What?
Okay.
That come from?
Just sauced up.
No.
Okay. Giggling the whole time. That's what kept grounding me is that you were just like giggling and like making like he wasn't talking. I don't know what he was laughing at, to be honest.
I mean, who knows what they laughing at when they drunk? I wasn't drunk. First of all, if anybody from Lyric, I was not. Your boy was
definitely saw that Manhattan hit whatever their special drink is for the
it was the Manhattan
show. And we stopped at the restaurant that's in Lyric before to grab bite. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect place for a little bite.
Yeah. You want to talk about the life hack? Well, we'll talk about the life hack.
I got their Italian sandwich, which was so good, but they have this TLB.
Yeah, TLB, y'all.
Which is a tomato, lettuce, bacon. But the tomato, they have 2 different kinds of tomatoes on the sandwich. There's a pickled green tomato, which is like what is, like my mouth is watering just thinking about it. Because it's like tangy and like just so good. Yes. And then like, lettuce, tomato, whatever. And the sandwich that I got had a tomato aioli on it, which I'd never had. And it was a little spicy. It was so phenomenal.
Yeah, that TLB.
TLB is really good, and it's giant.
Well, we said that it got bigger.
That's usually how it gets bigger.
We haven't used this one in a long time. Damn, where is it at?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Yeah. We haven't used it. I mean, but I'm still on that. But the thing is like larger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like
it is.
Because we were there like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, that's a good size. Actually didn't think nothing of it. But then we came this one. This is just not right. Your mind is just gone right now.
I'm not even
I can look. You just waiting for me to say it, and now I'm stuttering because I'm like, I ain't trying to get myself in no. That's what she said moment.
Why? It's so fun.
It is fun.
But yeah, we had a great time at American Icons. Thank you for inviting us. We love going to all Joffrey and Lyric shows. I wish there was more Joffrey Ballet shows because they go on tour. So, they're touring the country. There's a few.
Pretty soon we're gonna be able to be up in there supporting my niece. Shit.
I know. Dario's niece is
she go to Joffrey.
A dancer.
Don't she go to Joffrey?
I'm not sure.
She
got accepted into the program, but I'm not sure.
I don't know if she's going there.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I also don't think people need to know where she goes.
They're not gonna find her.
I know.
First of all, if you got the money to be up in Joffrey, good kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? Like just hanging around.
No, she's super talented.
Yeah,
she's super talented. And I think she was like the youngest person in her dance school to dance on point or something.
Yeah, heel toe or something like that.
That's not. Heel toe is crazy. If any ballerinas out there, is that technical term? Is it heel toe?
Any ballerina out there heel toeing that?
If a ballerina heeled, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is a dance move. But I'm sure it's not called a heel toe. It's probably some like French word.
What? Like what?
I don't know.
What's the French word for toe?
I don't know. What do you think it is?
Shit. Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't even have an inkling.
That's a good call. Hold on. Siri, what's the French word for toe? Now she ain't even gonna listen. Or hold on, let's see.
What'd she say?
You heard it, right?
Barely.
Hold on. Siri, what's the French word for toe? It's a good use of time here, y'all. Oh, hold on. Let's do it again. Turn it up so you can hear.
Orteil.
Sure.
Hold on. What'd she say?
Orteil.
Orteil.
Ah, orteil.
Anyway, I'm sure it's not heel toe. Regardless of what the French word
was-
for toe is, I don't think that's the technical term.
Sorry, y'all. Had to figure that one out.
But yeah, that was fun. And then I had book club this weekend.
You
also
read a whole book in a day, pretty much.
I did. It was a mystery. Not my favorite. It was labeled as mystery, but there was no mystery because the girl was murdered in like the first, like the prelogue.
But the end of the book, you was reading out loud.
The end of the book kind of
that
like
was the
caught me
mystery.
No, but it wasn't. There truly wasn't a mystery. I think it was like maybe like a thriller is a good label for it. It's not really a genre that I usually read, so I don't really know. I'm not too familiar with like how to describe it, but I'm like a historical fiction is like my go-to. But I'm happy to read outside of my usual genre. So like that was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's called What Happened to Nina is the name of the book. It was okay. There was like spelling mistakes in there, and it was a lot. Like the first half of the book was like an ad for the United States. It was like
What?
Aloe, Love Island, Selling Sunset. Like
what's on this book? When did this book come out?
2023 or 2024. I just want to like when I read, I want to escape. You know what I mean? I don't want to be constantly reminded that it's like COVID. Like don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
But them books in the next 20, 30 years about the.
And that's fine.
Them books about to hit.
I don't
and people
know.
gonna be like, nah, this ain't real. This gonna sound like science fiction.
But like nothing was it wasn't about that. It was just like thrown in as a reference to like tell us what time period this is happening in.
Yeah. That don't sound fun.
Yeah.
Well, good thing I don't read. I'm just playing. No.
You don't read.
Here's the thing. I don't even want to make jokes about that today. I got some numbers here.
You don't read.
Just kind of.
But yeah, did you do anything fun?
No.
Okay. Well, let's get into this episode then.
I guess let's get into it then. Hold on. Where's the? I got to get this rhythm down a little bit better. Let me tell you something, y'all. We got some slapping music nowadays.
Yeah.
And that bop, that's a bop. Today,
You
y'all.
can't say that anymore.
I can't say it's a bop.
No, you can. But like when you say that, in my mind, it references that one
The
artist.
The baby.
Yeah. Isn't he like
Trump
a
supporter?
Trump supporter?
Yeah. That's
Anyway.
kind of that's kind of wild.
It's kind of wild and unfortunate.
And unfortunate, y'all. We kind of like doing a recap of this month, right?
Yeah.
We spend a lot of time, obviously, talking about Black History Month, but the kind of question that we had was, why is this important to talk about like the themed type of months and times of the year? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
coming up is Women's History Month in March.
Right after this.
So we will be the way we're going to be approaching that is we're going to be talking about different pieces of different stories, but specifically from the angle of like the significant women that played a role in that.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely benefit to having these like dedicated months. I think it's just like kind of disheartening when people revert immediately to like, okay, well that's done. You know what I mean? Like let's keep it moving.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point I'm making. It's like, it's important to keep having this conversation. So, because a lot of people gonna be like, oh, well, it's done.
Right.
Now we're not talking about it. No. We're still gonna be talking about, history of all these things, all the months. Black History Month, Women History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. sorry, y'all. Here we go. We're gonna be doing all those things throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? But like
not specific. Like the way we did it with this one, where it was like, not every episode is about Black History Month,
right.
but we are talking about significant Black figures.
Yeah.
And we've done that obviously throughout the we've talked We've talked about significant figure. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's nothing
right.
new.
Yeah.
I just think the way we're going to approach it is we're going to try and somewhat relate it to the month that it's dedicated to in
so
that time.
the question, why is it important to have these conversations
Yeah.
and to have these months? Not just the conversation, but important to have the month.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's important to have it, and this is just something that we were talking about. We talk about often, right? A lot of people don't know these things. You know, whenever we come up with some of these facts, I remember when we first started, it probably wasn't until 2022, 3, where we were just like, damn, people didn't know that. Because like in my head, I know maybe I won't speak for you, but like some of these things that we were saying, we like, oh, everybody know that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and then you meet people that don't know that. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
I think it's
Wow.
also like important to recognize that like knowing these things, knowing history in general, like the interest in history. First of all, it's an interest. Some
Yeah.
people are just not interested.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's not something. It feels boring. They didn't learn about it in school. They don't care. You know what I mean? It was never presented to them in a way that was like grasping their attention, kind of thing. And so, I feel like that's point number one. Point number two, it's a luxury to have like hours of our time spent to not a luxury, but like if you were a person like this is our job now, but like if it before it was a luxury to be able to be like I'm going to sit down and watch a 2-hour documentary about this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like if I had, for example, if I had a kid or if I had to work 2 jobs, like this would be low on my list of priorities.
Right.
But we always prioritize the things that are important to us. And I feel like, not to say that like some people don't think history is important, that's why they don't watch it or learn about it, but it's just like dedicating your time to anything that is outside of like your day-to-day needed tasks is a luxury.
Yeah. And
Times like having free time is a luxury.
yeah, you giving me a bunch of alley-oops for, you know, the numbers that I got written down
Yeah.
and kind of like where I'm going to spend, but not yet. My thing too is here in Chicago, Black History Month was created here. We just take Black History Month for right now. And realistically, all the months that are kind of themed.
Dedicated,
Yeah, dedicated. Chicago, without Chicago, you know what I mean? Like
it played a pivotal role
in everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for us, particularly local, right?
Yeah.
This is important for us to know because it's our heritage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It ain't just a federal recognized holiday or anything like that. That's literally how Chicago was made. You know, these stories. So for us, it's important, you know, to tell these stories because, you know, that's our heritage. But people really don't know these things. You know what I mean? And this is education. Like all we do is education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To give people knowledge. And
even if it's
important.
like, even if, you know, it's like a 90-second video on our Instagram page and that's where you get your information, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
like now you know one extra fact that you probably didn't know before.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you probably know like 5 extra facts. Maybe you remember one of them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, because them
like,
videos be
that's, I think, as someone that is like chronically online, that I doom scroll a lot. I do have a lot of hobbies. I do things off my phone a ton, but I also like scroll like, you know, most
like
of
a
the
regular
time.
person.
Yeah. And so I feel like, you know, choosing the kind of content I want to consume, because like some days I'm like, I have no time to do anything. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. And then I look at my screen time and I'm like, how was I on my phone for 8 hours?
8 hours, yeah.
Like, truly, how was I on my phone for 8 hours?
I mean, we just get lost in stuff, man.
But here's the thing. Like, if I look at it deeper, I'm like, okay, maybe like 3 of those hours I was watching sewing videos on
you're still
YouTube.
learning.
Like, I watch a bunch of like educational content.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Which
it's
is
because
good.
of what we do.
Yeah,
but
right.
I can't remember a time that I didn't, but I feel like it's probably because of what we do. It's
in
like
some
grown
way,
more.
somehow, people always watch something that's helping them learn something.
I hope so.
Whether it's good or bad. You learn.
Yeah.
You know, we in those times right now. So
Right.
your intake, whatever you intake, is technically a learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did write some things down because I want to tie, you know, Chicago Black history back to Chicago and kind of the importance of, you know, these months. And, you know, next month, like you said, it's coming right up. Our Chicago's history with women is heavy, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, so we're going to get into that next month. But yeah, I pulled up some Chicago school stats and why, you know, our path as a nonprofit now is important, right? So Chicago schools, there's 630 schools in Chicago's public school
Chicago,
system.
yeah.
Yeah, so pretty large.
Interesting.
316 students enrolled.
316.
Yeah, 316,000. 316,000, yeah.
I was like, that's a lot. What is it, 2 schools per student?
Yeah. Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the graduation rate,
He doesn't read, y'all.
rate. No, those words.
He
just keep-
graduated though,
Graduation, no, not from college.
not from college.
Not from college. We're gonna get there. I'm in that number somewhere. It's 85%. 85% graduation rate. This shit kicked my ass. Damn, I'm never saying those 2 words again.
Graduation rate.
Yeah, why is that so hard?
It's just a tongue twister.
Yeah.
You're saying it too fast.
Why?
No.
Graduation rate. Something with my teeth. I feel like my teeth is off or something. It just don't feel good. Anyway.
It doesn't feel good on your teeth? Is that what you said?
It's just something. 65% of those students, 65% of those students,
That graduated.
yes,
Yep.
are disadvantaged. So,
How so?
economically.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. 66% of Chicagoans are college enrolled. 48% complete college. And here's the demographics of the students in Chicago.
Yeah.
47% are Hispanic, 35% Black, 11% are white.
I mean, that makes sense if we're looking at CPL numbers
Yeah.
because the access to private schools is probably higher
Yeah.
within the white communities.
Yeah. So,
There's
so
just
yeah.
charter schools, whites, private schools,
Exactly.
stuff like that. That's probably where that number skews.
91% of Asian males graduate from high school versus 65% of Black men.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like a reflection on the culture. I'm not like East Asian, but pretty close culture wise in terms of like the expectations. Southeast Asian, Arab, which is technically like in West Asia. There's a lot of stress on like not going to college was never an option for me.
Right.
Like I didn't even know that people
You
did
had
not
to.
go to college,
Right.
which is like such
But I
a
didn't.
privileged thing to say because like the bubble that I grew up in, everyone went to college. And my mom's a dentist, my dad was an engineer, so like both my grandparents were educators, like my aunt is a teacher, my uncles are doctors. So like education is like such a big part of my life and it's like I was taught that like without education you will do nothing with your life, like and
Right.
like especially as a woman in like that part of the world, it's really critical to like have an education so that you can have a career, because if you don't then you're just a stay-at-home parent. And like that, I mean, my mom was like a single mom, so like she was like, you have to graduate. Again, it was never a conversation, like there was never another option. It was
Right.
like a given. So I feel like I relate to that culturally. Like there is an expectation of like you have to go to school.
Yeah.
Like what I mean. Like you can't. What are you gonna do?
And
My mom, I told her I want to go to culinary school, and she was like, to do what? Like you know what I mean? Like
Right. I
like
mean,
anything outside of like
yeah, those kind of things don't
Yeah.
translate to minority parents.
No.
You better.
for
You
want
want
me
to
to
play
you want-
around?
Yeah,
With food?
literally.
Shit, I can teach you how to cook. That's exactly what
exactly
minority
the-
parents be
that's
like. Man, I
actually-
can teach you that. Well, I'm about to pay you money, pay money to these people
I mean,
to take you.
she didn't. I paid for it.
Yeah,
But-
parents gonna claim anything though. They gonna be like, "Nah, I paid for it because I had you." Anyway.
Mm.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is to show how important it is in Chicago, particularly. And I hope you see the trend is that Chicago ain't just Let me back up real quick and preface this because I was watching social media, scrolling social media, and a lot of politics going on right now.
Yeah.
And this one woman said, "Why do we always have to have a Black month?" You know what I mean? Like, and it was like, and it was satire. The lady, it was a white lady who was playing herself both roles, right?
Yeah.
And she basically said, because why do we, why wouldn't we? We have to celebrate their heritage. Why don't we celebrate white heritage? You know what I mean? Like, we've seen this many times, and it kind of.
I can't roll my eyes back far enough.
Yeah, right. And that kind of made me think of this topic today. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up from this angle, right, is because Chicago is like split almost directly in thirds
Yeah.
of population. So there is no here in Chicago, small little sample size, right? There is no larger demographic necessarily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all
Like there's no predominant.
Yeah, we all in this thing together. And here's the numbers. So Chicago's population by race, 2.7 million people roughly. As of last year, white 36%, black 28%, Hispanic around 30%, and then Asians are, I think it was like almost 9%, and then the rest was 1 to 2 more mixed race, right?
Probably Arabs.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
they moved to the suburbs, but
Yeah.
like a lot of them were in that Chicago lawn area.
yeah,
they're
and
just-
22% of Chicagoans are foreign born. So, we talked
that makes sense.
We talked about this. Chicago is a a melting pot is not a thing that people want to use anymore, right? But Chicago
It's
is
diverse.
It's
It's
a
diverse.
very diverse city. So for us, the importance of teaching these lessons for every race, you know what I mean, like is important. We celebrate, St. Patrick's Day we have the largest St. Patrick's Day parade, larger than Ireland.
Ireland doesn't really celebrate. St.
They
Patrick's.
do, and we still bigger than them. You know what I mean? These things is Pashki Day. We have one of the largest populations of Polish people here. You know what I mean? Czechs, here in Bohemian, not a old terminology, but so Chicago for all races, because I know somebody out there like, well, we don't celebrate white. Yeah, we do. Like we do.
Yeah.
It's just these things. It's these named differently. You see a month and say, hey, we don't have a month. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not the case in Chicago. Is the point that I'm trying to make.
Also, like, let's. I don't think anyone that listens to this podcast is questioning why these months exist.
No,
because I feel like if we think about it logically, like, of course, these things come about because people were not being recognized, history was not being preserved, it wasn't being taught. So, like, you needed that, and we learned that this month with like the inception of Negro History Week, and so, like, obviously, that's why those months come about.
Yes.
Hopefully one day we live in a world where like we don't need to I can't imagine.
That's never gonna happen.
That's
never gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's a goal. You know what I mean? Like, but that's anything taught me these last few years. that ain't never happened. So the point that I'm making here, Chicago is one of the largest. I believe I read here, and I tried to fact check. I saw the website, y'all, just to be transparent with you. I saw this website. I didn't write the website down, and then I scrolled to another page, and whatever reason, I couldn't find that page again. I tried to search everything that I did, like, to find that
You go back
link.
in your history.
I did, and for whatever reason, I don't know where I saw this, but I did see it because it was prominent. I wrote it down at the time, right? Chicago is the most educated city of the 7 largest cities in the U.S., Chicago is the most educated.
Does that mean like
yes.
Like
all the numbers I gave you from earlier?
Oh, okay.
All that. You know what I mean? Like, and not just necessarily Chicagoland area too, right? So,
Interesting.
it's one of the largest. And the point I'm making, I wrote down here also, we're also probably the most segregated city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so. This is important for us to have these conversations, especially on this platform, but in person like we do with these students, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if there was some fatigue, and again, you're right. People listen to this ain't fatigued by what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, but hopefully you can pass this on to kind of like have some perspective as to why it's important for not just Chicago, but maybe your own city, right? I wrote down some things here. I wrote New York and LA's numbers. New York, obviously, largest city in America, 8.4 million people, 57% white, 15% black, 20% Hispanic. LA, 3.8, roughly 9 million, 34% white, 40% Hispanic, 8% black. And 40% of their population is foreign born. So, these conversations are different by where you are, where you live, right? You know what I mean? Like predominantly white in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is probably a really relevant conversation you got to have. You know what I mean? Like white rich people who live in New York. You probably got to be like, hey, here's why, we got to, educate. Because like if you are that 15% black, good chance You ain't getting no, this kind of knowledge, passed down to you in schools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I did find the article you're talking
found
about. It's a Chicago Magazine article from 2018.
Yeah. See, I know I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that was a website. It was like some other website. But yeah.
The title is Chicago is now better educated than its suburbs, and it goes into how the percent of residents in Chicago with a college degree and like all that kind of stuff.
I didn't write all those down, but I saw all those numbers. And I do have two stats that I'll read later. But to bring it back to Black History Week and why amongst Black folks, education is super important. We got to know our heritage. We got to know where we come from, right? Black students in Chicago. Black students in Chicago public schools show a 21% proficiency rate in English and language arts. Okay, obviously a low number, but that number is 10% higher than it was in 2022.
Oh, wow.
So think about it. It was 11%. So kudos to Chicago getting educated. But the part of the reason why there's a force with that, and we've heard Mayor Johnson, be adamant about, funds being taken away by the administration against Black students because, the Black Student Success Plan of 2025 was something that was started, I think it was like early February, March, right around that time, where there was a concerted effort to make sure that Black students get the proper education, so that number doesn't go up higher, right? And then just to kind of throw some history in there for you, just to show you where we came from. Chicago's Black population has been going down since the 90s. You know what I mean? Like we've been moving out, been pushed out, red line, whatever you want to call it. It's been happening amongst Black people, right? So there's been a lot of disinvestment. You know what I mean? Like a lot of missed opportunity for Black folks. So to be doing the numbers that we are still doing is good. 80% since 2021, right? 80% of the school closures have been Black and brown students.
Yeah.
And mainly because 99% of the schools were Black. We know what happened with Rahm Emanuel shut down 100 schools, all Black neighborhoods, right? Yeah. Black and brown neighborhoods. And we know what that does. So Chicago still got 360 schools, elementary, kindergarten, all the way to, those high school. But you take away 100 schools out of Black and brown neighborhoods, and that was from 2022, the numbers. So that, imagine how low that number was in 2021, right? In that time period up until 2022. Now, here we are 4 years later, and the number increased 10%, right? We don't have the numbers for this year, so maybe it didn't. Who knows what this year's is? But back in the day, in the 60s, just to show how bad this was, segregation in schools was still bad, especially here in Chicago. It was really bad. So bad to the point, I don't know if you remember when we did the what was it? Was it Normal Street? And that was the school, Normal and everything. And they had to teach out of train cars. Well, in 1962 to about 1966, students, because of overcrowding, had to be taught in little trailers and things like that. And because you couldn't go to the other schools because segregation, Bogan High School being one of the ones that was even in the 90s was a bad situation. I was elementary, that's why I bring that up. Stevenson Elementary, which was down the block. They had to go to these trailers, and they were called Willis wagons. And the Willis wagons were named after Superintendent Benjamin Willis, and it was meant to alleviate, the overcrowding and the segregation, solve that problem. So, it's been a wild ride for education in Chicago. So if we have any part, it's this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think through high school, that is like a critical time for students to, I feel like that should be required. But for me personally, I don't think like universities are required. Like, I don't think everyone needs a bachelor's degree.
Right.
And I think, but that's because like most of these numbers are like through high school, right? Yeah. And until the
And now my final little piece on why it matters, and we're gonna get to Hispanic Heritage Month later on this year, right? We'll talk more about it. Obviously, hopefully, have some more insight to that. But just listen to these numbers, man. This is very updated. These are no high school degree by neighborhood, and I found this. This is is wild here. So here's the top 5 no high school degree by neighborhood. Number 1, Little Village. Number 1, Little Village. 49% of the residents in Little Village no high school degree.
That's not surprising.
Not surprising, but also something that you need to think deeper about. That neighborhood also accounts for the second largest revenue
in the city
of Chicago. Yeah. So you talk about,
I actually think it's way more because we've talked about before is there's a lot of like transactions that are unaccounted for.
Yeah.
And I think that strip, and here's the thing, there's no like big brands on that strip.
We just talked about
it's like all locally owned.
Yeah.
It's all small businesses. Also, when you're talking about this number where like no high school degree, this is like a census, right? Mm-hmm. And assuming the census asks probably, I mean, they knock on the door,
right.
They ask
see who's there. Yeah.
So like in a neighborhood that is mostly immigrant, mm-hmm. probably a good amount of people that either don't speak English or I don't know who the census right. person is. If they do speak English, they might knock on the door and be like, no one speaks English. They leave. Possibly people are not opening their doors out of fear
right.
because don't know.
Actually, I see where you're going with this. Let me finish because you will see a trend here, right? Let me, Hermosa, number 2. Brighton Park, 3. Gage Park, 4. Chicago Lawn, my neighborhood, number 5. Mm-hmm. All predominantly Hispanic.
Yeah.
All predominantly Hispanic. And bring in a ton of money for the city. So, like you said, we don't need to know the real numbers. Realistically, what I mean? We probably don't because of,
And a lot of people don't participate in a census because of fear.
Yeah, right.
Because they, you know what I mean? Or they don't think that it's relevant or it's important, which, I'm I think participating in a census is important because it helps allocate resources from the city to where they need to go. But I completely understand why people are hesitant. And I think it's the same fear that comes from, or the same feeling that comes from like people that communities that don't vote because they feel like their vote is not going to matter or is not going to make a difference. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like,
and now the conversely situation is who the top 5 neighborhoods that do have a bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm. You said high school or bachelor's?
Bachelor degree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So high school degree, 5 that don't, and then bachelor degree, right? Streeterville, number 1. Lakeview, 83% of people in Streeterville have a degree. Bachelor degree. Lakeview, Bucktown, Lakeview East, Hyde Park, and honorable mention, South Loop. We're right behind Hyde Park. All affluent neighborhoods, right? Obviously. But to the point you said it earlier is there's no real major things in Little Village. In those they are making more money than Streeterville. You know what I'm saying? Like they bring in more money. So I guess the point that I'm doing is not to like shade anybody, any one particular. Not shading you for being too smart in Streeterville, of course not. And all those groups, you know what I mean? Like and on the flip side, not knocking the numbers for the neighborhoods on the south and west side because that's literally all they are, southwest side of Chicago. But the point of it is that there's worth in everybody in this city, right? And the more we understand our heritage, right, the more we're gonna be better.
And I think it's like we understand how we got here.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like why are kids on the south and west side not going to school? Like why are there more missed days? And it's because if we look like a decade ago or whatever, however many years ago, when 100 schools were closed. Now children have to walk further to get to class. If it's snowy outside and your parents can't drop you off because they have to be at work, that's a long walk. You know what I mean? So like,
there's no buses in Chicago. Just to let you know,
there's no buses picking up kids to go to school. So you have to either take public transit, you have to walk, your parents have to drop you off. So if none of these are an option, you're missing class.
Right.
And so like these numbers are important not because of like, not for nothing, but other than like. To look up how did we get here? Like what are the factors that played a part? And that's the whole point of like why we think history is so important is because it really like draws a path of like how did the city end up being where it is now? Like and we've said this for years. To love a place is to criticize it because you want it to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we love Chicago. We think it's a pivotal city that has played a huge role, not just in the country, but in the world. And we also agree that like we have strides yet to make, to make this even better for groups that have been ignored for decades. So like two things can be true,
right?
You know what I mean? Like these are not mutually exclusive. And so I think, done. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the point. I mean, like, so when you hear, us and others, talking about, a Black History Month and talking about whatever month, Women Heritage Month, Women History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, which is a weird month. It's not a calendar month. It's a fiscal month, right?
Yeah.
But when we talk about these things, it's important, man. Like that's why we put emphasis on this, because those are disenfranchised, groups of people for the most part, and stories that need to be told, right? Because like everybody, I can't wait to talk about Women's History Month. You know what I mean? Like here in Chicago, I'm sure there's a lot of things people know crust level, but I can't wait to see what we already know to tell you, and then find out some more stuff like we did with like Murr's Apothecary and stuff like that. So I don't know. This is important. It's very important to have these months. So if you know a friend or somebody that disagrees with having a Black History Month, spit some facts to them, man. All the stuff that we said all month, but then this episode too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we took the education route. Like, I don't know if that was the best angle, but that to me, we're educators. And I feel like, if we teach these things in school, how they're trying to erase things nowadays, literally from museums and from, libraries. And
it's wild.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why we need these months.
Yeah.
Because they literally going to erase it. And then if our school system is already, got some situation where it's hurting those groups of people, we got to do better. You know what I mean? We got to stay doing what we do, and it's up to everybody listening and it's not listening, and to keep passing this information on.
Yeah, to keep passing this information.
And that's my church brand.
Yep. But yeah, thank you so much for listening today. I mean, it's a joy to do this. Honestly, every week we love doing this. Yeah. Hopefully we can do this forever. In order for us to do this forever, we need your support. So please rate this podcast, leave a nice little review. If you do enjoy it, we would love to hear from you. If you have any ideas and you want to learn about something specific, anything coming up, shoot us an email. All of our information is in the show notes, and we'll see you next week.
Women's History Month. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and we hope you loved it.
And if you could, please follow us on social media at 77 Flavors Shy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you have any ideas or deep dives that you'd love us to do, please contact us at media@77flavorsshy. That's the number 77 flavors and shy for Chicago.com.
If you like visuals, please subscribe and follow and watch us on our YouTube channel at the same thing, 77 Flavors Shy, or search 77 Flavors of Chicago.
If you would like to support us monetarily, go ahead and click that Buzzsprout link in the description of this episode.
And as always, we gonna see you next week. Peace.